What's up, everybody? James Ng here, Biblical Success Coach. I help entrepreneurs get unstuck, achieve quantum leaps biblically, and build recession-proof online businesses. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the most important thing you need to become recession-proof. And if that's something that interests you, then like this, share this. Also, subscribe to our YouTube for this and a bunch more cool content there as well, too. And I'm excited to talk about this. So it's important because we are in a time where the government doesn't say we're in a recession. However, we are. A recession technically is 2 quarters where GDP goes less, and that happened. But then the government kind of changed the definition of recession. Kind of interesting. I'm not even going to dive into that, but things are different, right? Things are different. And recessions, while they might sound scary, are actually huge opportunities, because while recessions do mean more layoffs, it does mean some type of loss of opportunity. It could mean that there's changes in the economy and finance and stuff like that. Recessions are also the time of the greatest wealth transfer. But the question is, who does the wealth get transferred to? Some say, well, all the rich people, they just get richer. Well, that's true. However, why does that happen? Why does that happen? Question is, what's your thoughts on a world economic financial depression? Depression is 3 quarters in a row of lower GDP. There's definitely going to be an interesting time. All I know is this, is that regardless of how bad it is, it doesn't matter if you know the most important thing to become recession proof. So after coaching thousands of entrepreneurs for the past decade, I've noticed a couple of things that make those that are successful, regardless of the time of the economy, versus those that are not successful. And I wonder, comment below if you would know or you would guess, what do you think is the most important thing to being recession proof, regardless of what industry that you're in, regardless of what business that you're in, regardless of how old you are, regardless of where you are in the world. And I would submit to you that if you want to be recession proof, the number one thing that you need to have is a payoff, is a goal that is big enough for you to overcome whatever challenge is going to come. The number one reason why people fail in business, and especially when we're going through a recessionary period as well too, is because the goals are not big enough. Now you might be thinking, how does that make sense, James? Well, what's the purpose of a goal? The goal is meant to inspire you to step up, to learn, to grow, to overcome. Because the reality is this, there's going to be tough times. There's going to be tough times. Will the US currency collapse? Maybe. Will the world collapse? Maybe. But it doesn't matter what happens. Because if your goals are big enough and you're committed to them, then you will do whatever it takes to learn whatever it takes, to solve whatever problems that it takes to be able to get to where you need to get to. The biggest mistake that I see in entrepreneurs is that they don't set goals, in the words of great Les Brown. It's not that they set way too high goals and they miss, right, Anna? It's that they set goals way too low and they hit them. They're not big enough, right? And thanks, like, seriously, because entrepreneurship is not a game for the weak. Entrepreneurship is hard. Some people say entrepreneurs are those people that quit a 9-to-5 so they can work a 9-to-9, right? It's like it's not worth it if the goals aren't big enough. And I was in that place for a long time. Because I was brought up in a very traditional mindset, as I'm sure you might have been as well too, and thanks for the compliment, of, just go to school and get good grades and get a good job and, have some benefits and, don't dream too big because you might miss them. Don't think too big because what if you embarrass yourself, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been told that before. Don't think too big. Don't dream too big. Don't think about the big house, the big car, making a lot of money, money's evil, like these types of things, right? Like I was kind of brought up in that type of a mind state. So when I got into business, guess what? My goals are super, super small. It was just to make a little bit more. You know what a common goal is for people? Here's a common goal. Common goal is, let me make double. My life would be so much better if I just made double. Right? It's a common goal. And you know what's so funny about that? Like, it's really not what is possible. It's just what they can fathom right now. The biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make and why they fail and they're not recession proof is their goals are too small. I've been taught there's 3 types of goals. There's an A, a B, and a C. A and a B and a C. Wake up is a good goal for sure. A goals are goals that you've done before. Okay, so for sake of example, let's say your goal was, my business made 1,000 a month before. It made 5,000 a month before, 10,000 a month before, and it dipped, and I'm gonna get back to that, right? Or weight is another very simple goal. What's up, Florida? Weight is, I lost 10 pounds before, I gained it back. I'm gonna lose 10 pounds again. That's an A type goal. A B type goal is one that you think you can do. And thanks for the swan. A B type goal is one that you can kind of imagine. You can start to plan out. It's like, if I do this and this and this, then I can see exactly how I can get that done. So if I made 1,000 a month through my part-time business, if I can make 2,000 a month, okay, if I stretch myself just a little bit, and okay, I'll do it. And if I'm making 50 grand a year, maybe if I make 60 grand next year, like, that's going to be amazing. Not big enough. What I challenge everyone to do, if you want to be recession proof, is you need to set what's called a C type goal. Absolutely. 10x for sure. A C type goal. A C type goal is one that you want and one you've never done. What are you dreaming about? Right? What do you really want? If time and money were not an issue, Anna, what would you want? What would success look like to you? What would success feel like to you? I know. And I don't believe that you can't protect yourself from any financial disaster, because everything starts from the mind. Money's spiritual. It starts up here, right? Even if you lose money, you can always find ways to make it back as well too. Like, there's always ways and opportunities. And to be honest, like, that's a mindset that's going to keep us broke. There's definitely going to be circumstances going to happen. There's definitely going to be shifts that are going to happen. There might be wars. There might be currency downfalls. There might be things that happen, right? Like, but it doesn't matter. Because if you have a mind, then you can dream it. If you can decide on a goal and you can find ways to be able to provide value in the world, you can always create more money. Might not be in the same currency, might not be in the same place, but you can always reconfigure something, right? So you need a big goal, a goal worthwhile enough, a goal where no matter how hard it is, you're like, I want that so bad, I'm willing. We talk about Grant Cardone. I love what he says. And Grant Cardone is a self-made billionaire now. Grant Cardone says this very simply: whenever we have an excuse of things are too hard, I can't do it, like, man, I can't learn that, we have all these excuses. He very simply goes back to this. He says the payoff is not big enough. The payoff is not big enough. And which is so true. Most of us have goals that are so small that it's so easy to quit, because the first sign that it gets hot, the first sign that it gets like too hard, we're just like, whatever. I'm just going to go back to my quote unquote safe and secure job, which is not safe and secure today. Or even worse, I'm just going to stay broke, right? I'd rather not have challenge, and I'd rather be in this comfortable, uncomfortable place. And most of us are living in comfortable, uncomfortable places. So if you want to be recession proof, you got to have a big enough payoff. You got to have a big enough goal. Don't just think in terms of something you've done before. Don't just think in terms of something that you think you can do. Dream up something huge. Dream up something that you're like, oh my gosh, like, if I actually get that done, wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. And it's not so much what it is at the end of the line. It's not so much a certain money amount. It's not a certain place to live. It's not anything that is necessarily like a substantial type of thing, a material thing. While those are cool, the representations, it really is a challenge to you for you to grow to your fullest capacity. It is exactly who you become, right? Success is attracted by the person you become, as Jim Rohn says. So it's so crucial, though. If you don't want much, you're not going to have to become much. And growth and happiness comes when you're contributing, when you're creating, when you're challenging yourself. So if you want to be recession proof, have a major goal. Have a goal that seems impossible right now. 10x your goals, Grant Cardone says. 100x, whatever. What do you want? What do you really, really want? And if you start to allow your mind to dream like that, then it doesn't matter what financial storm will come. It doesn't matter what craziness is going to go on in your home. It doesn't matter what challenges come. It doesn't matter the negativity that comes. It doesn't matter what bad news comes. Nothing circumstantial matters because your goals are strong enough for you to persist through the storms, to be able to rise up, to be able to solve the problems. And that's what makes you recession proof. So I hope this encourages you. I hope this helped you. If it did, like this, share this. Also, subscribe to our YouTube. Put this and all of our other replays up there as well too. Hit the notification bell because I go live like 3-4 times a day. Tons of cool content out there. And also shout out, I do help people build recession-proof online businesses. If you're in a space right now where you've been looking for another opportunity, if you've been looking for another way to be able to really get through this year better for you and your family, and you love some mentorship, some guidance, some coaching, I love to help you. There's a form in my link tree or in my caption that says "Work with me." If you just click on that and then you fill out the form, then I'd love to reach out to you and I can share with you what it is that we're doing as well too. And that is so awesome. And thanks so much, sister. I'm glad that I was able to help. All right, everybody. But hey, other than that, God bless. Let's stay recession proof. I'll be live every Monday through Friday at this time for recession proof business tips. So keep on joining us. And other than that, talk soon. Bye-bye.